Just a couple of more advertisements. Here's a real popular one. Alcohol is advertised all the time in professional sporting events. It's all over everywhere in sporting events, making people think that that's what you do when you go to a sporting event. Then you drink beer or another alcoholic beverage. It's interesting that sports are supposed to be promoting healthy lifestyles, yet we're getting bombarded with these kind of commercials. Here's another one. There's a saying out there, a popular phrase that says, grab some bats. And they just changed it, grab some buds. And again, that's what people think. You go to a baseball game, whether you're playing in a softball tournament as an older person, or you go to watch a baseball game or whatever, that beers is supposed to be part of that. And it all comes from the media. The media works. They know how to get into people's minds. If it didn't work, they wouldn't spend so much money. Because as you can see right here, alcohol companies spend close to $2 billion every year just on advertising in the United States alone. That's not counting how much they spend on advertising in other countries. Just in the United States, $2 billion every year. That's more than any two other consumable products. So I just picked two that are fairly popular, Pepsi and Doritos. You take how much they spend on those commercials, and it doesn't even come close to what alcohol companies spend on their beer commercials. So I want you to look at these top sellers. This is a recent top sellers in millions of gallons of alcohol. Bud Light was number one, Coors Light number two, Budweiser number three, Miller Lite number four, and Corona number five. Now, there's a couple of things that are interesting to me from this slide. Number one is, if I look back over my younger lifetime and look at through all the great commercials out there, a lot of the very best commercials are Bud Light commercials, Budweiser commercials. And now Corona is getting there where they're getting more and more popular commercials. And the same with Miller Lite and Coors Light. That's interesting to me, that the very best commercials, in my opinion, are also the best sellers of beer. The other thing that's interesting to me here, if you notice, of the top five, three are light beers. Why is that? Why is it that light beer is so popular? Whoever came up with this idea was brilliant, because they made millions and millions of dollars for the beer companies. But, they put that idea out there that if you drink a light beer, which has a third less calories than your regular beer, that you can continue to have that six-pack belly. I'm not talking about carrying a six-pack. I'm talking about having that perfect stomach where you don't gain weight. Well, that's not true. It's not just the calories that cause weight gain. It's the alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, and depressants slow down your metabolism. Not to mention that there's no nutrition in it. Alcohol is considered an empty calorie. But it's interesting to me that, the top advertisers also sell the most beer. So I thought that was kind of interesting also. Wouldn't it be nice if, instead of things like this, they were able to come up with enough money, those people who are fighting against alcohol use and abuse, would have enough money to put reality out there in the advertisement? Wouldn't this be nice? There's reality. Somebody's so drunk that their hair is in all their vomit. Or look at that stomach. Now that looks like you pop that and there'll be a nuclear explosion. That's reality. That would be nice if they advertised real life rather than things like this and the good life